Hello and welcome. We are going to talk about how to grow a successful, joyful business on the side of your full-time job. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you want to start your own small business, part-time or full-time, this is going to be for you. So, as you probably know, I am a business coach. I see the behind the scenes of a lot of businesses. And in the last couple of years, I have repeatedly come across amazing, talented, aspiring entrepreneurs who are educated, they're smart, they have achieved so much in their corporate careers, but are not able to get far when it comes to their own small businesses. They struggle to bring the same level of success they experience in their academic careers or in their corporate jobs. And at the same time, I was seeing those with much less education and experience growing pretty quickly. I just couldn't make sense of this. And it really hurts me when people want to take the leap and go for their heart's desire, but they struggle with progress because just because you follow your passion doesn't mean you will be successful. So this masterclass is going to address this problem. And maybe before we dive in, I tell you a little bit about myself so you know who I am and why I'm doing this. I have been where you are only a few years ago. If we have not met before, my name is Sarah Mobahamfad. My background is in operations and supply chain management. I'm originally from Iran, and Switzerland has been my home for years now. I'm a local now. I live with my husband in an alpine village. I've spent over 10 years working for big corporations, managing complex operations and multiple seven-figure product portfolios. Anything from sourcing, buying raw material, negotiating contracts and prices, planning production for those matured businesses. The jobs I had were exciting, but I knew there was more to what I could offer. And I always wanted to start my own business. I knew I would never be able to use my full potential and creativity, my love for art, psychology, writing, and philosophy in the career that was ahead of me in the field of supply chain management and operations in construction machinery industry. That was pretty irrelevant. And I was asking myself this question, which might be your question too. Is this all that life has to offer for me? This is where I started searching for more meaning in life. And my search led me to start my first business, a successful fashion accessories brand. It was a sustainable brand. And my brand developed a loyal customer base. It was featured in luxury magazines like Tatler Brides and a few more. And since I went through this transition from corporate employee to starting a business from scratch in an industry I knew nothing about and making things work, I actually realized my real passion is helping other people, especially women, to also do something with their interest, creativity, and passion. It just hurts me to see when there is potential in somebody and they're not doing anything about it. This is why I decided to get professionally trained and accredited by the International Coaching Federation, ICF, to support my clients on a deeper level. I have helped over 100 earlier stage startup businesses navigating growth, scaling, setting up the key foundations for their businesses and become more successful. I have come across all the issues you're yet to come across, and I cannot wait to share my learnings and experiences with you. I have packaged all of my learnings and experiences in my signature method, the unique business blueprint method, which I will talk about today. So I always had this burning desire to start my own business. For years, I had this desire, but I didn't want to compromise the safety my corporate job was offering and also everything else that was coming with it, all the benefits and so far. And I was an immigrant with little connection to my troubled home country, Iran, and it was technically and legally more risky for me to work on my own. If I was about to leave Switzerland, I couldn't easily just go back home. But a difficult chapter in my life gave me the courage to go for what I wanted despite all the challenges. I was in my then corporate job, and shortly after a big presentation in a business summit, I ended up in hospital due to an emergency health issue. I remember that moment vividly. It was a cold winter day, pipes were connected to my nose, and I was struggling with breathing. I was feeling nauseous, and the machine next to me was beeping, and the air was smelling like disinfectants. I just couldn't understand what was going on. And the doctor came to me. He explained to me about the operation I had just woken up from, and explained to me that I had an appendix rupture. I was so busy with my work, I didn't even notice that I have a problem that needs my attention. I just didn't notice the pain. Simple as that. And he told me in the nicest possible way that the level of infection is pretty high and my body has not responded to the antibiotics yet, and I am in a critical situation. And I could not believe my ears. My life could end up like that at 28. I had a lot of unfinished work. I was always healthy and health conscious. I never smoked. I was always careful with food. And I never imagined to experience something on this level so suddenly. It really hit me there that I have actually lived a mediocre, insignificant life, which looked good by society standards. Went to a good university, got a degree, secure, well-paying job, all of that. But it just wasn't enough for me. So I promised myself to live differently if I made it out of this hospital room alive. And when I recovered, which took years, it was quite complex and I needed more operations, all of that. I promised myself that now my life is going to matter. I'm going to do something I desire, something that's going to have impact. And if I were to disappear tomorrow, my life has mattered. And this is why the topic of transition from employee to entrepreneur is so close to my heart, because this is where I come from. So these days, with media glamorizing entrepreneurship, this is pretty much what everyone thinks will happen. You take the leap one morning, you quit the corporate job, you suddenly become your own boss and start your happy, flexible lifestyle. You magically know what to do to get results. And because you took the leap, the universe will reward you for your courage. No, actually, this doesn't happen to most new entrepreneurs. What actually happens is that a lot of new entrepreneurs fall into a trap that I call the hidden entrepreneur trap. I tell you more about it. So I see this happening all the time. Perhaps you listen to entrepreneur stories and podcasts at least 3 hours a week. Maybe you are creative, multi-passionate, you have a notebook full of business ideas, and there are 3-4 business ideas that are keeping you occupied at the moment. And you're excited about all of those ideas, but you're not sure which one to commit to, what product to create, which of these ideas can create a freedom, the freedom you desire, which of them would actually make money, which one is worth investing time and money in, and how to actually turn the idea into a business. So it's analysis paralysis. And your heart gets filled up with joy when you think of having your own business. You feel like you are currently only using 20-30% of your full potential. If you're experiencing at least one of these symptoms, you are in what I call the hidden entrepreneur trap. And I personally spent at least 2 years of my life in this trap. And I tell you why this is a trap. It's a space that you're an entrepreneur at heart, but you don't have a real functioning business. You do not have results. Your full potential is not uncovered yet, and you do not feel proud of your business. So you are kind of hiding, but you also know that with hiding, you can't really change this. These are some of the words I have heard from my clients before we start to work together, because I always ask people, what brings you here? Why do you, what's bothering you? And for example, this one said, I have been reading every possible book and I have signed up for this pricey leadership program I paid $10,000 for, and I still don't know where to start with my business idea. Maybe this resonates with you. Or this one, which I hear in different forms all the time. I have invested in many mentorship programs and courses, and I still cannot figure out how to start my business. I'm not sure if I know what I want or what I'm good at. So if you resonate with these statements I mentioned, you're not alone in this. I see so many entrepreneurial souls who cannot see progress and income. They're forced to give up on their business dream, business ideas, and just do something else. If they'd quit their corporate jobs already they feel shame to go back to the corporate world, which is all right, but it doesn't feel easy for them. And even if they are financially in a secure place, it still hurts to see your dream failing. And this is happening to smart, intelligent people. But I will show you why it's happening and exactly how to get out of this trap. So what's causing this? What's getting in the way of a lot of these new entrepreneurs to succeed despite their talents and experiences? You are being bombarded with knowledge, data, information, inspirational quotes, and advice every day. Social media, books, magazines. There's never been so much content. There's also so much common but unhelpful advice, which used to work a couple of years ago, but not anymore. Even I see in my business things that used to work perfectly for me last year, 6 months ago, they don't work anymore. Things are moving pretty quickly. Outdated success recipes coming from mentors who built their empires 10 years ago. So these are credible people. I'm not criticizing them. So I'm talking about respectable, credible mentors, but they built their businesses 10 years ago. And they are teaching their outdated ways, but because they are famous and they are actually credible, they worked hard to get there, but they're kind of detached from the new entrepreneurs. Their methods don't actually work. And it's no wonder if you've been lost with all this misinformation, confusing and conflicting advice. But don't worry, this is a sign that you're really talented, you're smart, you're experienced, and you're naturally more exposed to information than someone with no education who probably doesn't even bother researching. They just go to an expert, a coach, a mentor, and get the support they need. See, in 2009, we only had a few thousand podcasts, and in recent years, we have nearly 1 million podcasts. And I know in the pandemic, everybody and their dog started a podcast. And 60% of the podcasts are about business and entrepreneurship. This is just podcasts. The same has happened with books, magazines, articles, social media, content, etc. So no wonder you don't know where to start. There is an overproduction of content because this is how you market yourself these days. So let me show you some of this seemingly good advice that might be confusing to you. So there's so many misunderstandings about how a successful business should look like, and I've only counted a few of them. A great business idea means success. Richard Branson says ideas are like buses. There is always another one. This is execution that matters. Or great looking website means success. And there are so many beautiful websites with 0 visitors, no business. Doesn't matter. Or massive social media following means success. And I have had clients with tens of thousands of followers on social media. They're making nothing. Followers are not always buyers. The way you grow your social media as an influencer is different than the way you grow it as a business owner who wants to make money out of those channels. And here's another one that bothers me most. 0 competition means success. In reality, 0 competition means 0 market. It actually means that business is not viable most of the time. And competition is actually a great sign that your business will work. Or this one, perfect timing and being ready. So people would say, no, I'm not ready yet. I need to learn more. I need to do more research. The thing is, this is just an excuse for procrastination. You will never be ready. And there are so many tried and tested recipes, strategies that have worked for other people, but there is no guarantee they will work for you. There is no such a thing as success templates. And I hear that all the time. I did it, so can you. No, everybody comes with their own stories, their own unique life circumstances. And just because Elon Musk succeeded doesn't mean you will too. That is reality. And that is also one of those areas that keeps highly educated, smart entrepreneurs stuck, because they know about a lot of business models. They maybe it was part of the education or their experience, and they cannot think freely as they are constantly trying to fit in with those models they know about. All of these create a lot of confusion. This information overload pushes many into the hidden entrepreneur trap I talked about earlier. They are entrepreneurs at heart. They own businesses, but they struggle. And I say this as someone who hasn't spent her share bit of time in this trap. I say it with compassion. I was very embarrassed that I'm doing everything, but I'm not getting results. So, but what's wrong with staying too long in the hidden entrepreneur trap? Because you might say, okay, I mean, let's see, and maybe time solves the problems. What are the consequences of not seeing result and not doing anything about it? And actually, most people just wait and hope for the time to solve the problem. And they keep searching. Maybe something happens. They try different things. And this is reality. This is something I experienced. I also heard it from my mentors with much more experience than me, who have worked with many more businesses. That's the thing. Failed businesses, they wait too long before they address the issues. And that has happened to mature, famous businesses, I mean, we had it in Switzerland with the Credit Suisse Bank. And that was only an example of a business that has been running around with that reputation for 100 years, I guess. But successful businesses, they address the issues pretty quickly. They do not wait months they do not suffer for months to find a solution. They sense something is not right, and then they go try to address it. The thing with these hidden entrepreneurs is that they do not have a clear plan. Every new solution seems potentially interesting. They spend most of their money on shiny objects, fancy solutions, exciting templates, courses, certification, you name it. And because the income is not happening, they never have enough money to invest in their businesses. And because they are not seeing results, they are losing confidence in themselves. They doubt themselves, and that far-fetched dream of having a successful business actually moves even further because you're getting older, you're getting more experience, but results are not happening. So they get stuck in a vicious cycle. So how to make sure it doesn't happen to you? Look, it has never been easier to start a business. The barriers of entry are pretty low. There is Canva for easy graphic design, which I'm using right now. There is ChatGPT AI for content research and creation. There is affordable legal support for business setup, templates for almost everything. Social media is free. And you see 15-year-olds hardly finish high school who get famous on TikTok or Instagram, and they do it much better than you with 10, 15 years of work experience. So how are you going to stand out? By watching what everyone else is doing and imitating that, reverse engineering what they're doing in your mind? Obviously not. I believe you need to do things differently. And instead of being focused on learning new things, what about trying to unlearn and let go of some old lessons? We are taught to give so much power to knowledge and information. Knowledge is power. This is what most of us grew up with. We collect degrees and certifications and are always waiting to be told what to do. But unintentional learning for the sake of learning, does not really help you. But then there is this. Utilizing one's unique gift is a common theme in most of the statements from successful entrepreneurs, because I studied a lot of successful people. I was just wondering, what do they do? Are they like different breeds? What do they do that makes them success, but then others are struggling? And of course, there's been a lot of scientific research done on the field, in the field of success psychology. For example, Marie Forleo says, every single human has a unique and valuable gift, and it's our job to find it and use it to make a difference in the world. And then there is Richard Branson. I'm a big fan of him because he's not only he's successful, he's also quite like a down-to-earth person. He has his life and family and health together. So yeah, he's not just getting rich. And he says everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. And I'm convinced that the key to recession-proof, non-negotiable success in all times is being able to turn your talents, strengths, experiences, and learnings into a career or business. That is a process to figure that there is a process to figure that out. It's something I help people with to extract their gifts out of them and turn it into a business. You will be surprised when you learn that about yourself. And this is the result of working with tens of clients in mentoring, consulting, training, coaching, trying different methods. And only recently this year, I looked back and I had a revelation. The only thing that has consistently worked was this. Those clients who were more aware of their gifts, their talents, their life story, their experiences, the learnings from the failures, they could turn those into a business. They were consistently successful. Those who were just sort of searching for the latest methods and trying new things and were not really looking inside, going inwards, I don't know, at least in my clientele, I didn't see their like that massive success for them. They were still having some success, but it wasn't comparable. And those others, despite having the money, despite having the greatest strategy, they struggled. And I also saw some who were succeeding financially, but they were not happy. So that was really also important, because you cannot sustainably run a business that is successful but not making you happy. I'll give you an example to understand this even better. When you try to be like everyone else, as expected, you become an average. But when you tap into your own unique gifts and talents, you become exceptional. For example, Michael Phelps, the greatest swimmer of all times, he had a ton of energy as a kid. He had ADHD. He had trouble with attention. A teacher told his mom, your son will never be able to focus on anything. And his mom felt that swimming was something that would help him to keep his energy under control. I don't think they had high expectations for him. And his ADHD combined with his love for swimming was the gift that turned him into a champion. See, what you might consider as one of your flaws or weaknesses could actually be your genius. So it's not as simple as a strength and weaknesses kind of thing. And imagine if his mom has pushed him to perform better in math or science, and after spending hours, he probably would have just been an average engineer or a bad English teacher. We would have lost Michael Phelps. So imagine, if you know your unique mix of talents, skills, and experiences that could turn them into a work that brings you joy, you free up so much time because you work on something you love and you're great at, and you're more focused and you're more efficient. And imagine if you learn to transform this unique gift into a business that is perfect for your personality and lifestyle. Imagine you have created a life and a career that lights you up and offers a creative space to turn your ideas into a useful product or a useful services, to be yourself, to explore who you want to be. Is this something you want? So, how to stop being that hidden entrepreneur I just talked about and become a thriving entrepreneur who knows their gifts and is creating a business that gives them that freedom to be themselves, to explore their creative gifts. So I explained to you a little bit how I help my clients figure out the unique gifts and turn them into a business that is actually fully functioning, as it's not taking all of the time. So if you are my client, in my signature framework, the unique business blueprint, we figure out your unique gifts, take your ideas and build a plan around it. We create a personalized strategy to execute that plan. And then we work on making sure your unique gifts connect with those who want them and need them, your customers. So it's not all about you. It's also about the people who will relate to those. And also, we also work on how to make this business reliable, repeatable. So there are 3 steps or 3 pillars, three key steps inside this method. And these methods, these steps are designed to get you to your ideal business. Step 1 is about figuring out your unique blueprint, your life experiences, the strengths, talents, joys, learnings from failures or life experiences. So all of that turn into your ideal business that lights your soul on fire. And we figure that out and turn those gifts into a business. And these gifts will be actually your unique selling points. This package of talents and experience and strengths that would set you apart from everyone else. Step 2 is about a customized 90-day plan to turn your ideas and intentions into a roadmap that you can follow step by steps. And with this method that is based on neuroscience, I help my clients create a roadmap that they can actually execute and stick to. It's not just a big to-do list. It's an actionable plan. We do it together. And actually, this is the key part that a lot of new business owners are missing because they're experimenting a lot. They waste a lot of time on activities that are not actually contributing to their ultimate business success goals. And this plan is actually to keep you grounded and focused. And step 3, the 5.5-hour work week. It's not magic. So creating that business asset, that system, that machine that runs on its own, and this is what makes the 5.5-hour working week possible. I've actually counted the hours. That's why the number is not is not a round one. It's not magic. It's actually hard work, and it demands a certain mindset and focus that I teach in the simplest possible way. And I've seen even clients who have zero business experience, zero entrepreneurial experience, they have been able to implement that. This simple system is what I wish I had when I started my first business. And because this would have stopped me from wasting tens of thousands of dollars and hours on pointless work. You want to stop thinking as a dreamer and start thinking just like a thriving entrepreneur and business owner. Really, all of these changes, they start when you take ownership of your business and behave like a business owner, not like someone who's just playing around with things, not like a side hustler, let's say. And this starts with changing the way you think and act. And this system, which unfortunately I cannot go into all the details, but I'm just giving you some sort of basics of it so you can figure that out for yourself, hopefully. This system only works when all 3 pillars are taken into account. If one is missing, then it's not possible to create that success anymore. So if you only say, oh, okay, now I don't care about the rest of it, let me just have the plan, it's not enough. All of them, they kind of work together. Like in case you have tried other programs or courses and you did not manage to create your ideal business, you did not get the results you wanted, you got stuck, I'm sure one of these elements were missing. You can't monetize every passion. Passion is not enough. So if, for example, if I help you figure out your unique gifts and everything and passions, all of that, that wouldn't be enough to create a business. That would be just help you to have more clarity. So that's that part of figuring out your passion, let's say, that's only like one element of this whole system. Or maybe you might be given the perfect strategy, something that has worked for everyone else. Everyone who did that succeeded, but your mind is not ready to accept that strategy and create the right thoughts and actions to lead to the results you want. Then it won't work for you. You will fail. Or maybe you know the strategy, you know your unique gifts. On paper, you know everything, you know exactly how to run this business and how to create the success you want. It might be that you have some deep-rooted issues, some healing work that needs to be done, some sabotaging patterns that you're just not aware of, and they're getting in your way. They just stop you from experiencing your next level of success. And then you will again struggle to succeed. And also, the last but not the least, business is a system with input, output, processes, operations, a level of repeatability, let's say. And it's not only about sales, it's not only about vision and dreams and all of that. You need to see a business beyond your first or second sales and marketing techniques and entrepreneurial dreams to succeed. A business is more than that. So now I will go a little deeper inside each pillar to see what elements are inside, because this is a program that I usually, I work with clients, sometimes 6 months, 3 months, and I created a very intensive version of it, but there are so many steps inside. So let's dive in and see like what happens there. So the first step is through this Genius Business Canvas, which is a method within this method. we dive into, we uncover how your unique strengths can lead to a successful business. So this Genius Business Canvas is a powerful tool I created after trying a lot of like different methods with different clients. And it's where I combine all the business and marketing methodologies you hear about. I combine them with your unique gifts and strengths. And there are over 10 steps that help you understand your customer, get in touch with them, create the basic minimum viable product, test it, improve it, and of course, finding your market, your niche, understanding customers, addressing their problems, understanding the design, their desires. This is what happens inside this pillar. And it's basically about aligning your genius, this whole package of gifts and talents and experience, all of that, with what the customers, your potential customers need. And it's about crafting a unique selling point, again, based on this genius gift of yours. And it doesn't end there. You create an idea, you create a basic product, then you test your idea, you build your audience and brand. You don't just, invest in a lot of money in a product and go out. You test it slowly. When it seems it's working, when we have enough evidence, then you go full in. And this is something I do with clients in details, but I truly believe that you don't just sort of, a lot of people focus on the product, but I focus a lot on the market, on audience, because I have experienced it myself that when you just throw a product out and you don't have the connections, you don't know who's going to buy it, it's going to be very challenging. So audience and community before the product, this is also part of this method. One of the biggest reasons new entrepreneurs get burned out, they're always busy. They just have so much to do. They don't have time for themselves, is a lack of plan. And it is normal. You're in this new uncharted territory. You're running a business. It's all new to you. There is not enough clarity. Of course, it is difficult to plan. And one of the feedbacks I've had from clients was that they do a lot of planning and goal setting and things like that at work, and they just feel sick of doing it in their free time. So they kind of run away from this. So I use a harmonious approach towards planning that is attractive to those who hate goals, who hate the smart, measurable goals. Like there are people who actually do not resonate with, let's make $10,000 or things like that. I'm actually one of them myself. But anyway, I've created a system that works even for those people who don't like goals and plans and things like that. So in this pillar is all about finding real focus, staying grounded, focused on things that actually bring value, focus on things that bring you closer to what you actually want. So it's about crafting a plan that is uniquely to you, aligned with your ambitions and needs and your unique life circumstance. So it's also something that needs to be addressed in planning is defining your needs, your core values, those things that are very close to your heart, your important values, and boundaries. You also need to be very clear about your boundaries to create balance. So all of these need to be taken into account in the process of planning. It's not just about saying, okay, I need to make $10,000, so I need to make 5,000 in this week, and this needs to happen. No, there is actually more to that. Otherwise, the plan cannot be executed, and that is why a lot of New Year resolutions fail. So here I do some teaching. There are some training materials in my program, and once the clients they've understood the concepts, we do a workshop together with them, and we create a plan customized for them. And the exciting part, the 5.5 hour work week, is this really possible? The people I work with do not have the luxury of 40 hours to spend on the business. And this is something, I came up with recently because I noticed I would love to work full time. I love what I do, but life as a woman, I think, is quite challenging. There is so much. We have other roles to fulfill, and sometimes we have other jobs to do. So that luxury of full-time business is not available to most of us. So I was thinking, how can I come up with a system that helps us run our businesses working less hours. So okay, my clients, they need to be able to do the work in less time. So how should we do that? This demands a certain mindset. It's not magic. It's not like, some kind of rocket science. It demands a certain mindset and execution. You need to create a repeatable system and processes and routines in your business. And you need to get at automating things that are repeatable. You need to get good at delegating tasks to people who can help you. And that's to do that successfully, you need to be able to explain the task and the results you want to them. You also need to utilize tech, use software, see how you can automate as much as possible. And there would be things that you should stop doing. It just, you can't do everything. And as much as boring as it sounds, I mean, systems and all of that, it's not that exciting to most people who, as new entrepreneurs who start with this exciting vision and idea. But this is what makes a business run like a well-oiled machine. So you don't need to do everything all the time. That needs to be implemented. And this is also what sets a business apart from a side passion project. And also, the topic of boundaries, of course, this is something it's very important. You need to behave like a real CEO, a real business owner. And there are certain things that need to be restructured in your life, in your relationships, in the way you're spending your time. And this only happens when you have a clear plan. You can manage distractions. You can automate things that are happening on repeat. You can delegate some of the lower impact activities so that you can focus on important tasks that could only be finished by you. And that's exactly what these successful celebrity entrepreneurs did. I've been studying a lot of entrepreneurs, just fascinated. What do they do that makes them successful? And I saw they have made millions, and I have noticed they have followed the same formula. They managed to create unique brands using their unique gifts, creating category 1 businesses. They're creating businesses that are so aligned with who they are, their personalities. And creating these category 1 businesses, which means no one can compete with them or copy their businesses, although their businesses look so simple and easy to copy. Why is this happening? Because these founders, they have tapped into their own unique strengths and abilities and turned them into unique businesses. For example, Oprah Winfrey, her unique gift is turning a gossip show into a personal development platform. She doesn't have a background in psychology or coaching or anything. She's very good at curating and, of course, her presence and all of that. She's really using her talents in running that business. Or Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mind Valley, who believes you should go inward to attract outward and become magnetic. And true business success starts from within. He's doing the same thing. And they all have captivating, exciting story to tell that connects them with their audience. So although the businesses are so simple and everyone can copy that, no one can replicate the success they have created. And I experienced this myself too. In my first 2 years, I was struggling. I was doing everything myself and I did not want to invest in support. But luckily, I had a wake-up call and I learned that what I'm doing is wrong. My way of doing things is wrong. And I need to stop being like everyone else and tap into my own genius. And I need help. I need mentors, coaches, experts, and a support system. And I need to think and act like a business owner and manager. Although I was pretending, I wasn't really taking responsibility and ownership. It was only after these massive identity and mindset shifts that I could see doors opening. I've been a guest on some of my favorite podcasts. I've been on stages. I have welcomed amazing clients into my life, and I have met extraordinary entrepreneurs, and I have created beautiful products that we use with pride by people all over the world. This wasn't magic. This was intentional work. And these are some of the words from my favorite people, my clients who have followed the same process. It makes me so proud to get this feedback from these people I admire so much. I'm so proud to work with them. Like, for example, Sonia says, I absolutely recommend working with Sarah. She has an enormous amount of expertise, experience, and knowledge to give, plus her warm and encouraging way of guidance is so exceptional and can really drive you towards success. First-rate coaching experience, which makes me so proud because Sonia is an amazing, successful voice coach, and so for me, it's an honor to hear these feedback from these super smart, successful people. Or Marina, a fashion entrepreneur who runs a beautiful fashion business, an online store, a luxury brand in Switzerland. It's been so amazing to work with these people. I mean, there's so many people to name, but yeah, I'm so proud of having this. Also, having said all of that, you might say, okay, I love this, but I don't have time for all of this. I'm already overwhelmed with work. Again, I have the question where to start. The whole point of what I talked about is to revolutionize the way you work, so you see the concept of time differently. The reason you don't have time is not just because of the amount of tasks you're surrounded with. It's the way you are doing things, it's the way you're being, and the way your perception needs to change. Or you might say, I cannot believe I ever become a wildly successful entrepreneur. I really struggle to convince my boss for a promotion. I'm not that special, or I don't have unique talents. It's probably not for me then. But guess what? Everyone has these thoughts when they start. No one is born like a successful business person, and everyone is scared of failing. So it's normal to think like this. But in business, there is no such a thing as failure. Either you get what you want, what you worked for, or you learn something. You cannot fail in entrepreneurship. The big failure is getting older and having done nothing, having stayed in the limbo, and getting to your 80th birthday looking back at life with regret. Regret for lost opportunities, thinking of things you didn't do because of fear, or thinking you're not good enough, or what others think. I would do everything to avoid that regret in my life. And also, one secret you should know, the quickest, most efficient form of support with highest success rate is bespoke, customized one-on-one support for your unique context and needs. If there is one thing that separates serious entrepreneurs from dreamers, is this: hiring coaches and mentors. Hiring a coach or mentor used to be something successful people kept as secret, but these days we have become more comfortable publicly talking about hiring help. And I understand not everyone is ready for this. I do offer group mentoring and courses and services. It's actually easier for me to offer those services that do not include one-on-one coaching, that doesn't need me all the time. But in full transparency, I thought I should share this with you, that although I offer those programs, I know where the clients are getting the best results. And why is it that? Why is it so? You don't know what you don't know. We all have blind spots, things we can't see or know about ourselves. And those blind spots, they keep us stuck. So we need others, professionals mostly, who can show us our blind spots, just like that side mirror of a car. And also, you can self-teach yourself a lot of things, but certain skills are just very difficult and time-consuming to master on your own. Like swimming, rock climbing. Entrepreneurship is just like that. And here I have a picture of Matterhorn, which is the most dangerous mountain in Switzerland. It has killed many professional climbers. Will you dare to climb a mountain like Matterhorn after reading a rock climbing manual? The kind of mindset that wants to do everything on their own by acquiring knowledge and self-teaching themselves, that can't go far. You can hike a hill, but not Matterhorn. And now that we have covered all of these, of course, in this nearly an hour, I couldn't cover everything. I just wanted to give you the basics so you can go think for yourself and see what's missing. I don't want to just leave you without taking actions, having done nothing about what you learn. The highest form of action I can support you with is a complimentary one-on-one roadmap session. You can send me an Instagram DM or email me this one-word roadmap. You don't even need to explain about yourself or anything if that's intimidating to you. So do it in the next 24 hours and you will receive an application form, and I'll check your answers. And if I feel I can help you, I will invite you to a free consultation roadmap session. And in this session, we look at all your business ideas, where you are, where you want to go, what is getting in the way, and map out your way to your version of thriving entrepreneur. This session is normally worth 400 euros, actually available on my website. People do book that session as a paid session. But I offer it for free to those who actually took time to watch this masterclass. And so I can only limit it a few spots, of course, because it's only me doing that. I don't have other coaches or assistants to run this session. So that's why, I can only offer so many of them. So please be quick, because it's something that I can only offer temporarily. I don't know how it would look like in future, how I would change this model. And it's also on a first come, first serve basis, depending on my capacity. And also, just to be clear, to be transparent, this session is not for everyone. It's not for those who are not serious about starting a business and just want to enjoy just a chat. It doesn't matter if you have a fixed idea or you have 2-3 ideas, you don't know which one to settle on, because I can help you with the idea phase. But if you don't seriously want to start a business, then none of this will help you. It's also not for those who don't want to do the work, are not looking, they're looking for someone who does the whole thing for them. It's absolutely right. These services are available, but this is not a service I offer. Also, it's not for those who just want to stay in the corporate world and look for a new career. This is not a career coaching call. This is purely a call that is designed for those who want to start a business and they want to be very serious about it, and they want to grow that business and make financial success. So if taking a serious step towards creating your own unique business is something you truly want, and what I talked about resonates with you, then get in touch. And if you're here, if you came this far, watch all of this, then I believe you have a desire and vision to create that business. I hope you have enjoyed this. I would love to hear from you, and please stay in touch and share your insights with me. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Hopefully see you soon.